My friends, it is so wonderful to be with you this evening. It is wonderful to be with you this evening to celebrate a resounding victory. Congratulations to all of you. I have to tell you, there are so many people to thank, and I will make it simple. All the people worked so hard. Every one of you knocked on a door, made a phone call, had a house party, reached out to the people, the grassroots all over the city. Every one of you made a difference this evening. Every one of you. Every one of you who reached out to your community and told them that change could come and would come. Thank you, brothers and sisters. Let me tell you, I want to express my profound thanks to my fellow Democrats all over the city. It is an honor to be your nominee for a second term of mayor of this great city. So I am so thankful this evening, but my strongest, deepest thanks, as always, goes to my family. My family that has been with me every step of the way, that supported me, that gave me such strength. And I feel like the luckiest guy in New York City because the love of my life and my partner in everything I do is standing beside me. Let's give a huge round of applause to thank our First Lady for all she does. I want to remind you that Thrive NYC was just an idea a few years ago. She has made it a reality, working with all of you, and thousands of people are finally getting the mental health care they deserve. They're fighting against the stigma. They're coming out in the open and getting the respect and the love and the support they deserved all along. Let's thank her for that. Now, I want to express something to you this evening from my heart. I have always loved this city, and as I've gone around these last 4 years and gotten to know this city I love even more deeply, my love has grown for it. My love for the people of this city has grown. My respect for the people of this city has grown. My optimism about the future of this city has grown because I've seen what's possible. But I want to say something this evening you normally wouldn't hear when an incumbent is blessed to receive the nomination of his party again. I want to make clear that no matter how much I love this place, no matter how much good I've seen, I do not accept the status quo in this town. We've got more to do, my friends. We've got more to do. I've seen up close the challenges too. I've seen the ways that we need to still build a fairer city. And I'm not going to stop until we build that fairer city for every New Yorker. This city has to keep changing. We've begun that process, all of us together. We've begun the change, but more change is needed. It must come, and together we will make sure that it will come. Tonight, we took another big step toward a fairer city for all. Tonight, another ratification of all that we've been doing together. And it's going to give us the fuel to go farther, to make a bigger difference in the lives of 8.5 million people who are depending on all of us to help make sure the city gets fairer all the time. You know, we have a message this year, and you see it on the posters. 4 simple words. This is your city. Say it with me. This is your city. Why that simple phrase? Because it reminds people that all those years where they felt their own city slipping away, we're never going to let that happen. We're never going to let that happen. This city has been great over generations because it was a city for everyone. It was never meant to be a city just for the real estate developers or just for the landlords or just for the titans of Wall Street. It was meant to be for everyone. And that's our greatness. That's our greatness. That's our heart. That's our soul as New Yorkers, that we believe in that vision. So this is your city. And you know it's your city when you see it work for you. You know it's your city when your child gets full-day pre-K for free. You know it's your city when your son or grandson is not treated with disrespect just because they're walking down the street on the way to school, on the way to work. You know it's your city when there's a rent freeze for over 2 million New Yorkers. You know it's your city when you're faced with eviction, God forbid, but then the city gives you a lawyer to protect you and your family. You know it's your city when your city's on your side. That's what we are building here. That's the work we have begun, but the work we must continue and we must deepen. And you know it's your city. You know it's your city when we change the rules of the game. It used to be something like a rent freeze would have been considered impossible in this town. Too much power in the hands of the landlord lobby. There's no way in the world that even if it was fair, there was no way in the world there could actually be a rent freeze until we created that fairness, and a rent freeze happened not once but twice. It used to be impossible to think that the average tenant, when faced with eviction, would have a lawyer on their side. Who was ever going to pay for that? We decided the city should be paying for that. That's what tells people. That's what tells people the game is no longer rigged, that the rules are changing, that fairness is what we believe in. And we believe in that. We believe in that for every New Yorker. We believe in that in every language. Esta es tu ciudad. No solo es una ciudad para los ricos o los poderosos. Es por eso que creamos pre-kinder para todos. Reducimos stop and frisk. En español. Creamos y preservamos 200,000 unidades de vivienda asequibles. Si sigues conmigo, nunca dejaré de luchar por ustedes, porque esta es tu ciudad. And that's what we're telling all New Yorkers this year. But I want to also refer to a phrase from almost a century ago that every day reminds me of what we're here to do. And it's from the populist movement in this country over 100 years ago, when everyday people, workers and farmers and craftsmen and women decided they deserved fairness. They had a simple phrase. They said, pass prosperity around. Think about that. Pass prosperity around. Share. Give everyone a chance at opportunity. It's not a new idea. It's not a new idea, but it's the right idea. And we need it more than ever in a city that still sees too many people who can't get ahead, who need to know it's their city. That is our mission. That's what we're here to do. Now, my friends, we have a chance to make even bigger changes. We have a chance to create more fairness. That's what we're going to be talking about over these next 2 months up to the general election. I want everyone in this city to understand what comes next. One of the best ways to ensure that this is your city, that you can afford it, that you can have a family, that you have everything you need to live a decent life in your city, is to have a good paying job in your city. We believe in a higher minimum wage, but we want people to go higher than that too. And that's why I've announced a plan for 100,000 good-paying jobs for New Yorkers from the 5 boroughs so they can get ahead. I think New Yorkers can reach all sorts of opportunity if they can actually get around. So we have to fix the subways. I have an easy idea, a simple idea, a millionaire's tax to fix the MTA. The millionaires and billionaires have done better than ever, and they have had some really helpful government policies to help them along the way, haven't they? It seems only fair that there be a millionaire's tax. They can afford to pay a little more so the rest of us can actually get around. And you know what else we're going to do with that money? The fare. So low-income New Yorkers can ride for half price and actually get to the opportunity they deserve. And here's something else we could do. We could remember the people who made this city great, our seniors. We could remember the people who fought in the tough times to keep New York City together. Our seniors, so many of whom can't find a place to live, they're hanging on by a thread. Let's help them out. I've proposed a mansion tax for folks who buy expensive homes. They pay a little more in taxes, so tens of thousands of seniors can afford a place to live, can live out their golden years in a way they deserve. And one more thing. If we want to make sure that everyone knows this is your city, it begins with making sure they know we have their children's back. That we're there, all of us, we're there for the children who will be the future of this city. We're there for every child of every background in every neighborhood. We want every child to get the best education. It does not matter what their zip code is. We want them to get the best education. So we together, all of us worked hard, and we created pre-K for all. And now you know what it's doing for tens of thousands of families each year. You know it's lifting an economic burden. They used to have to pay a lot of money for preschool. A lot of them couldn't afford it. Now they're getting that quality start for their children for free. That's what we all did together. But we've got to go farther. It's time for 3K. It's time for 3-year-olds to get quality early childhood education for free in this city. We have begun down this road. I want to tell you something I experienced this last Thursday, first day of school. And I went all 5 boroughs to visit different schools, and around noon I walked into a classroom in Brownsville, Brooklyn. And Brownsville's a community that's had a lot of hard times. It's a community that's deserved better for a long time. And I'll tell you something, I walked into a classroom and I saw history. I saw a group of 3-year-olds. They all happened to be wearing little uniforms, because that's what they have in that school. 3-year-olds in a New York City public school, and they were learning. They were together. Right before my eyes, I saw history being made. There'd never been 3-year-olds in a New York City public school until Thursday. We did that. All of us, we did that. And over the next 4 years, we're going to make sure that every 3-year-old gets that same opportunity. And we're going to have a generation of kids who are brought up the right way with every opportunity opened up for them. Think about that, my friends. Think about everybody getting the same start, everybody getting the same chance in life. That's the beauty of this, the beauty of pre-K and the beauty of 3K to come. It doesn't discriminate. It welcomes everybody. We welcome everybody. We want everyone to learn together. We want everyone to get that start together. That's the future of this city. So, my friends, those are the things we have to achieve together. Now, I want to warn you. I got to give you a warning. You will meet some doubting Thomases along the way. We got an election 2 months from now. And you'll hear people all along the way say those things can't happen. They'll tell you 3K can't happen. They'll tell you we won't be able to create all those good jobs. They'll say, oh, millionaires' taxes, they're politically impossible. Well, we've seen a lot of things that were politically impossible happen in recent years, haven't we? Some of them good, some of them not so good. But we don't get limited by someone else's idea of what's possible and what's not. We create our own reality as New Yorkers, don't we? And if you get discouraged at any point, then just look to our own history of what we've done together these 4 years. Because all those doubting Toms that said pre-K was impossible too. If you meet one of them, just take them by the hand to their nearest school and introduce them to the pre-K class. Okay? If they say change is impossible, then those are some of the same people that said we couldn't reduce stop and frisk by 93% and make the city safer at the same time until we actually did it. Until we actually did it. Crime has gone down 4 years in a row because safety and fairness walk hand in hand in New York City. So there's a phrase I always loved: don't believe the hype. Don't believe the naysayers. Don't believe people who tell you what you can't do. Believe in what we can do. New Yorkers have always believed in what they can do. That's the nature of the people of this place. That's what makes us strong. So now I need you to do something over these next 2 months. Everyone in this room, everyone watching at home, this is your city. This is your city. It belongs to you. Take it into your hands and decide its future. Get involved in this election. Help us shape the future of this city. Help us make it better. Volunteer and own this campaign. This campaign is for you. We have built it for everyone to own in their own way. Have your own house party. Host your own phone bank. Work your own block. Do it your way. I can't say have it your way or I'd be in trouble with Burger King. Do it your way. But it's your campaign. It's your campaign to build. It's your opportunity to reach your neighbors. They need to hear a message of hope because we've turned on the TV lately, we've gone online lately. It hasn't been the most hopeful time. But you know what? I never get discouraged by anything that happens in Washington, D.C. Because I believe real change happens right here on the ground in New York City and cities all over the country. Sometimes I've had a conversation with people who are discouraged and they're talking about something happening around the country while walking their kid to pre-K. Think about that for a moment. I'd be walking along with them and I'd feel what they feel about some of the things we have to fix in our country, but they're walking their kid to pre-K, which means the change already happened here. The change already happened here. The kinds of things we aspire to as a society, they're already happening here because of all of you. We've got to do more. We've got to help people feel it. We've got to help people realize how much power they have to change this status quo even more. That's what this is about. But everyone has to be in this. I'm going to close with this. I came upon a quote today. You know, sometimes you're thinking about what to say and then you stumble upon a quote and it helps you think about the thing you want to say from your heart. So this summarizes the notion that the changes we envision, we have the power to make real. It's up to us to actually believe we can take them through to fruition because we've seen it. We saw it with pre-K. We saw it with the end of that broken policy of stop and frisk. We saw it with safer streets. We saw it with affordable housing being built all over the city. We saw it with ID NYC. We've seen it in so many ways. So here's the quote. It's only 6 words. It's from Pablo Picasso. Pretty classy, huh? You didn't know I had it in me. He said, everything you can imagine is real. Everything you can imagine is real. We imagined pre-K and now it's real. We imagined a safer city, and now it's real. We imagined neighborhood policing and police and community coming together. Now it's real. We imagined everyone who deserved a lawyer got a lawyer to defend their interests. Now it's real. These things happened because we all imagined them. We imagined that an underdog campaign 4 years ago that was in 4th place could actually win. Guess what? We did. And you made it real. We've got a lot more to change in this town, but I believe we can make that real. Thank you. God bless you all. Congratulations, everyone.